Hi everyone, today I'm going to be going over everything that you need to know, the procedures for working in your unit in the foods room. Okay, so I have a list of things that we're going to go over. The first thing is what to do when you come in the room on the first day. So you know that you're sitting at a table with a unit number on the end. So there's a unit number on your table. There's also a matching unit number in the kitchen. So if you look around the room, you'll see that the unit numbers are labeled on the wall. Now the only kitchen that's a little bit unique is Unit 2. Unit 2's kitchen is kind of in between Unit 1 on the side. So Unit 2's kitchen goes from here, where it kind of sticks out, all the way to here, where it sticks out. And then this cabinet right here goes with Unit 2. But all the other kitchens are pretty much straightforward. So Unit 2 is the only unique one, okay? All right, when you come in, the first thing you're gonna do is grab an apron off of the wall. So you'll come into the class, on the days we're cooking, you'll grab an apron, you'll take it to your seat. Once you're at your seat, you're gonna copy down your notes off the Promethean board, and then you're gonna put all your books and things on the floor because we are gonna be eating at our table like a family. After you put your things on the floor, then you can put on your apron. Now there's several different ways that you can wear your apron. So I'm gonna put it over my head, and if you can take the apron, cross the straps in the back, and then tie a bow in the front. Now, you want to make sure you're tying a bow like you tie your shoes, not tying a knot, okay? Now, if you cannot get the straps to go all the way around, then what you're going to do is you're going to tie it in a bow behind you. Now, some people can do this, and some people have trouble with it. So if you have trouble tying a bow behind you, then just have a friend tie it on for you, okay? All right, the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna sit down and wait for your teacher's instructions. Once I tell you, that you're ready to go to your unit, then you'll start walking this way into your unit. Now the one person who's ever in charge of washing dishes that day is gonna stop right here at this shelving unit and get 2 washcloths and 2 towels. Now the shelves are labeled, but I know you can't see from here, but the top shelf is for towels and the second shelf is for washcloths. So you're gonna take 2 towels and 2 washcloths back to your unit. Just as a reminder, I know most of you know this, but some of you may not. This is a towel. This is for drying things. Okay, you'll have 2 of these. This is a washcloth. This is for washing things. You will have 2 of these too. This is for washing your dishes and washing your counter and washing your table. So 1 for dishes, 1 for counter and table. The towels will be used for drying things. I know it's being kind of silly saying this is a towel, but some kids will wad up the towel and put it in their sink underwater, and then get it soaking wet, and then they can't dry things with it. So make sure you leave your towels dry, you use your washcloths for washing things. At the end of class, if your apron is clean, you're gonna hang it back up, but if it is dirty, you're going to tie the strings in a bow so they don't get all knotted up in the washer. That nice big bow, and you're gonna put that in the washing machine if it's dirty. Okay? All right, the next thing on my list is the garbage. Okay, so when you're cooking, you're gonna have obviously food scraps and garbage. The garbage goes right here in this tall garbage can. Okay, so on this side is the towels and washcloths, on this side is the garbage can. After you finish eating, you might have some food left over on your plate. Make sure you take your plate over the garbage can and scrape any leftovers into the garbage. We do not have garbage disposals in our sinks. So it's very important that you do not put any food garbage in your sink because it will clog up the drain at the bottom and then the water won't go down. And I don't want to have students calling me over and saying, Mrs. Erler, the water won't go down in our sink, and then I have to tell them, well, whoever put that food in there is going to have to scoop it out, and it's pretty nasty. So make sure you do not put any food garbage in your sink. All food garbage goes in that garbage can. Okay. Now I've been teaching for over 20 years, teaching facts, and I've never had an incident where anything caught on fire. But just in case, we're going to talk about it, and people have had fires in their home kitchens. So a lot of times when there's a fire in a kitchen, it involves grease or oil. When something greasy or oily catches on fire, it's very important that you do not put water on it. Just think about the fact, never put water on a fire in the kitchen, because a lot of times they do involve grease. If a frying pan catches on fire, the easiest thing to do is just put the lid on it. That will smother the fire, won't get oxygen, and it'll go out. If you don't have a lid, you can use a blanket. If someone's clothes catches on fire, you can use a blanket. I'm going to walk over here, and she's going to move the camera and follow me over here to the fire blanket. So over here we have the fire blanket, and we have a fire extinguisher. Probably the easiest thing, of course, for you guys to use the fire blanket, if you ever needed to, which I doubt will happen, but it's good to know just in case. You just open this up, it's Velcro. There's kind of a scratchy, thick wool blanket in here, and you would just pull it out and wrap it around the person or put it on top of the fire if needed. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is the procedures for getting food off of the from the counter to your unit. So when we're cooking, I will have 6 trays sitting on this supply counter. Okay, so 6 trays for 6 units. So for example, let's say that we're making our fruit smoothies in 6th grade. Okay, what I would have on this tray is 2 bananas, some frozen strawberries, and a container of yogurt. That would be on the tray for all 6 trays. When you walk to your kitchen, one person is going to get the 2 towels and 2 washcloths. But I'd like another person to walk by and pick up the tray of food for their unit and take it to their unit. Okay? Now, there's going to be some ingredients that will not be on the tray. For example, for the 6th grade strawberry banana fruit smoothie, we need milk. Okay? I'm not going to get 6 gallons of milk and put them on the tray. I'm going to get 1 gallon of milk because that's all we need for everyone. So since there's only 1 gallon of milk, I'm going to have that sitting up here. If it is your job to measure the milk, you're going to come up with a liquid measuring cup. Come over here. You're going to pour 1 cup of milk into your liquid measuring cup from the gallon. You're going to set the gallon back down. And then you're going to take your 1 cup of milk back to your unit. You're not going to come up here and just take the gallon back to your unit, because then no other groups can use it. Okay, so when you are getting something off the supply table that we're sharing, it's important that you bring up a measuring tool to get the right amount. Let's say that you need a tablespoon of lemon juice because we're making the fruit and cheese kebabs. You would bring up a bowl and a tablespoon, measure your tablespoon of lemon juice, pour it in your bowl, and take your bowl of your tablespoon and your tablespoon of juice back to your table. Don't take the whole container to your unit, because then other people can't use it. Okay, we also have some non-perishable, that means foods that don't spoil, in your unit. You have 1 cabinet of staple ingredients. This is going to be your sugar, flour, salt, and seasonings. So I'm going to walk back to to kitchen 4, and I'm gonna hold up the ingredients that are in your unit. All right, so here I am in unit 4. Now all 6 units have a food cabinet, and they all have the same exact things in them. So for this one, for unit 4, the cabinet's right here. You have a basket with your seasonings. So in here we've got like some seasoned salt, salt and pepper, onion flakes, cinnamon for the cinnamon French toast, vanilla for when we're baking. Any kind of seasonings you would need would be in this basket. Also in your food cabinet, there are 3 canisters. A small one, a medium size, and a large one. Okay? In the largest one is your flour, because we use the most of that. Large canister has your flour. The medium canister has your sugar. And the smallest canister has a container of salt. This is good to use if you have to measure like a teaspoon of salt. You can just scoop it, level it across out of this container. And then, like I said, you got your basket of seasonings. Okay. All right, the next thing I'm going to talk about is how I grade you, okay? So I don't walk around and test your food, how it tastes. I grade you on 3 areas. The first thing is, did you do your jobs? Because every time we cook, we always do a plan the day before and pick out what jobs each person's gonna do. You'll usually have 3 or 4 jobs to do. Number 1, did you do your jobs? Number 2, how was your teamwork? Did you get along with the other people in your group? And number 3, how did you do on cleanup? Those are the 3 things I'm looking for. So after you are all done cleaning up, the 4 of you are gonna, or 3 in your group, are gonna raise your hand and say, Mrs. Erler, we're ready to be checked. I will come over with my grade book and a pencil. I'm gonna say to your group, okay, did everybody do their jobs? You will all probably say, yeah, everybody worked good. I'll say, okay, did you guys all get along? Good work as a team. You'll probably say, yeah, we did. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check your unit to see how clean it is. I'm going to feel the counter, make sure it's clean and dry, doesn't have any sticky spots. I'm gonna look at your sink. I want your sink to be dry and shiny. So you're gonna take your towel, wipe inside your sink, wipe the faucet, nice, clean, and dry and shiny around your sink. And then I'm gonna open some cabinets and drawers and just make sure everything is clean, dry, and put away neatly. If that is all done, and you did all your jobs, and you got along, you're going to get 5 out of 5 points, which is an A+, and I'll write that right into the grade book. Okay? If I hear of anyone not getting along, or people not doing their jobs, then the grade could be a 3 out of 5 or a 0 out of 5, depending on how severe it is. All right, now I'm going to be getting into a lot of the rules. This is the most dangerous room in the school. We've got knives here, we've got stoves with fire, okay? And this is a fun class, but it is a very serious and safe class. So there's a lot of rules and I have to be very strict on them to keep everybody safe. All right, so first of all, you have to stay in your unit. For example, if you are in unit 6, but I see you over talking to your friends in unit 3, that's an automatic F for that lab, and you'll go sit down and won't finish the lab or get to eat. So do not wander into other people's units. You may be in your unit working, or you may be in this area getting supplies or going to the garbage can, whatever you need to do, but you cannot visit other units, or that's an automatic F. All right. Equipment. You can only use the equipment that you are supposed to use in that lab. If we're not using the stove and you turn it on, that's going to be an automatic F, and if I see that you do something dangerous, you could be out from working in the kitchens the whole rest of your grade of that school year. So some very dangerous things to do that could lose your cooking privileges would be using equipment that you're not supposed to be, like turning on a mixer if we're not even using a mixer that day, or throwing food, or snapping towels. If you do any of those dangerous things, you are done cooking for the rest of that school year. Let's see. Next, I am going to demonstrate how to wash dishes, and then we should be about done. So I'm going to come over here to my sink in my unit. Okay. So after you've finished making your food and you bring it over to your tables and you finished eating, of course you're going to go back and clean up. Now there's 3 or 4 jobs to do for cleanup. You're going to be washing dishes probably twice during the 9 weeks. And then you're probably going to dry dishes twice, and then you'll be in charge of cleaning up the counters and the table twice. When it is your turn to wash the dishes, there's a special technique that I require you to do to make sure the dishes are very, very clean. So on this side of the sink, you're going to put the stopper in, and it fits in like a key. You have to push it down all the way till it snaps into place. You're going to have hot running water on this side, and you're going to fill it so it's about this deep with hot water. Then you're going to add all your dirty dishes to the sink except for the knives. The knives you're going to be leaving on the counter for later. You're going to put a small squirt of soap, just a quick squirt, like that. That's it. If I see you doing anything silly or wasteful with the soap, you're done cooking for that day with an F. So just do a little squirt of soap. You're going to, if you've got the water about this deep, your squirt of soap, you're going to wash the dishes on this side, inside and out, with your washcloth. On this side, you're going to have water running, hot water running, rinse off the soap bubbles. And then you're going to hand the dish to your dish dryer, who will dry it and then put it away. Okay? Now, let's talk about the knives. I said you're going to leave the knives here for last. It's very, very important. We never put knives in the bottom of the sink under the water, because if you're reaching around in there trying to find a knife, you could accidentally grab the sharp end and cut yourself very badly. So to wash a knife, what you do is you pick it up. You've got your washcloth that is already wet and has soap on it. You're going to wash that knife very carefully. You're going to rinse it under the hot water. You're going to carefully dry it off, and then you're going to carry it back to my supply counter where I'm going to be collecting the knives. Now remember, whenever you're carrying a knife, you're going to carry it with the knives pointing down, not up towards your face, not out towards other people. Always you're carrying it with the knives pointing down. Okay, so I hope that you've been paying attention and you're getting excited about cooking. It is so much fun. I know we had a lot of information to go over. A lot of it was on rules and safety, because that is very important. But if you follow the directions, I'm sure that this is going to be really fun and you're going to learn a lot.